Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shake. He decided to re-tee. That's a shake. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Two-Way Miss podcast. Thank you for joining us, watching or listening, wherever, whenever you might be. We appreciate you always. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Regz, and I am joined, as always, by the beautiful man on my screen to my left, the good buddy Banksy. Banksy, we just caught up for a good half hour. We haven't been able to sit down and talk because of holidays and just ridiculous schedules, but how you doing, buddy? Tell the people how you're doing.
I'm well. I appreciate the introduction. It was nice catching up with you off air, and let's talk some golf. man.
Rocking a new setup, man. Show the people how you
Oh,
upgraded
yeah,
over the
hey.
holidays.
Hey, this guy's coming
Look
and
at
moving
us.
up in the world.
Look at
this.
us.
Tell you what, if only I could look good as you on camera.
Nah, you look
I got-
better, as always.
I got the microphone.
One step at a time.
Baby steps.
You and Azzy
Baby
both have to
steps.
get a camera at some point. Azzy's the same way. He's in his basement with like one little light behind him. You can barely see him. He bought this light. Like I'm staring. At least you bought the light. Had the ring light. He bought this light, never plugs it in, and then when he turns it on, it was a running joke for a good 6 weeks that it would shut off 10 minutes into every podcast. And I'm like, dude, just keep it plugged in. Like, get an extension cord. Like, mine has never been unplugged, so it's just
Yeah.
ready to go. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. He gives some Azzy excuse about it. But
Yeah,
you've already
makes
got him.
sense.
You've got him beat with the light. So now we'll work on the cameras next. That'll be the next step.
All right, sounds good.
But you're
Sounds
sounding
good.
crispy. All the audio listeners are going to be pleasantly
Yeah,
surprised.
I'm glad you said it made a difference. That makes me excited.
The biggest difference is you don't echo. Like those computer mics pick up everything.
Yeah,
And now like we got you
I'm zoned in.
coming
Tractor
right
beams.
at us. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So a golf tournament was played last week. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
Century
all the
Tournament of Champions.
Right. Only winners from the previous season can get invited to play.
That's right. So again, it's at Kapalua. It's a cool course. It looks great on TV. And it always gets everyone jealous, on the East Coast of looking at these Hawaii, at the ocean and the cliffs and sunshine and all that stuff. The cool part about this first swing in Hawaii, is that all the golf is played at nighttime for us East Coasters. It starts at like 7 p.m. I think the coverage does. So it's always cool to have some primetime golf to watch. And this tournament in particular, like it says, the Tournament of Champions, you have to have won the previous year to be invited. So it's not always full of it's not 40 of the best names ever, but the top 10 always finishes out like pretty chalk. Because this thing is just, when you talk about this a bunch, like I just want to see these guys go out and shoot ridiculous numbers.
Yeah.
This is the tournament you're talking about.
Yeah. It's a shootout.
Yeah.
It's a shootout.
Like-
And it's a par 73.
Right.
So plenty of par fives and short par fours, a lot of scoring opportunities.
Yeah. Again, the winning score was 27 under. So you might play okay, but if you're not scoring, you will just be boat raced by the rest of the field, because people always come out hot and just put up some numbers that are just ridiculous. We're going to talk about a couple of them here in just a second. But any other thoughts on this tournament in general? What have been your thoughts of it in the past? Do you still enjoy watching it, or?
I do. Yeah. I'll turn it on. It is. It's neat scenery. It's a neat golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of undulation. Watching the golf balls roll out on the fairways is pretty neat. And you got golf balls rolling 100 yards.
Oh yeah.
And they had a new feature. I don't know if you saw it. They this drone
Yeah, I did.
feature, following the golf ball and
Mhm.
watching it. That was pretty neat. I'm glad they're continuing to get innovative and
Yeah.
use different technologies and
Someone made a
um,
funny joke about that, saying that they would never use this while they're on the mainland because it'd be too easy for them to get in trouble. And they were just like having a fake conversation as the producer of the tournament, like, yeah, throw it out there. What are they going to do? They're not going to come get us. Like, let's just do it. So they're trying out some stuff. I mean, it looked awesome. That's
it
like,
was neat.
that's like the course to do it for a drone shot with those
Yeah,
cliffs and
especially-
those drop offs.
Yeah, on that golf course, that looked really neat, and yeah, it was nice having this first tournament with some people's names that we recognize, kind of coming down the stretch.
Yeah. So the storyline of this one for the first 3 rounds was Colin Morikawa comes out and just plays unbelievable. He talks about how he's got this new chipping coach and this new putting coach to try and solidify those 2 areas of weakness in his game. It seems to be working for the first 3 rounds. He ends the 3rd round 6 shots up of second place going into the final round. And then in that final round, he shoots a 1 under 72, and Rambo shoots a 63, 10 under to beat him by 2 strokes.
Yeah.
And Colin comes out bogeys 14, 15, 16, which he hadn't made 3 bogeys, I think, in like around that entire tournament.
Right. Those were his first bogeys of the tournament.
Literally his first bogeys of the tournament. And he goes 3 in a row.
Yeah. And all due to those things that you just mentioned,
Yes.
chipping and putting.
Yeah. Mainly the chipping, just kind of, he lost it.
Yeah. And, it's one thing to be 6 shots up entering the final 18 holes.
Yeah.
But he was 4 shots up.
Yeah. On the back 9, right?
With only 5 holes.
No, that's
to
right.
go.
Yep.
Okay. So you have a 4-shot lead with 5 holes to go.
Yep. So in that same stretch, 14, 15, 16, Rhams goes birdie, eagle, par. So a literal 5-shot difference
That's
in those
pretty
3
good.
holes.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
again,
golf, man.
that's where it swung for sure. And like you said, it did come about because he muffed some chips.
Yeah.
And there are still places on that course where if you get stuck, like, it's not good.
Yeah. And the putting stroke looked, it's one of those things, and I know pros are obviously different than normal golfers like you and I, but when you're in a zone for that long, Morikawa just breezing through the first 3 rounds, and you're just in that zone where you can, you could probably close your eyes and just swing and everything's feeling good and putt, whatever. For it then to leave at that part of the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, that's just got to completely
You almost
mess with your mind. Because I know it does for me. Like, there's times where I'll be out there and I'm, making pars, a few birdies here, and it's like I'm not even trying. Like, I'm just literally walking up to the ball and swinging the club, and it's going where I want it to go.
Yep.
And on the greens, it's like I can see every read. I'm hitting the ball in the hole with some force, but then all of a sudden it goes away. And when you're out there playing by yourself and nothing on the line, it's difficult to get your concentration back. Yeah. I can't imagine that happening in a professional tournament with, like you said, Rambo up in front of me,
right,
birdieing, eagling, like that. That's just, it's got to be such a mind blow.
Yeah, I almost think that if it had happened with anything else but his chipping, he probably could have recovered faster.
Yeah,
like let's just say he chunks an iron. You know what I mean? He's one of the best iron players in the game. Like, let's just say he maybe catches one a little bit fat, a little bit thin, and it leads to a bogey. I think he gets over that a lot quicker than, oh crap, my new chipping stroke that has worked for 3 rounds and I just
Yeah.
duff the crap out of one.
Right.
And then it gets in your head like, oh, am I sticking with what I'm doing? Do I go back to the old way that maybe feels better?
Yeah.
And I think that they said, someone made a good point that for all the things to go wrong, like, or to feel the pressure on, it's probably the worst thing to be the new thing that you're working on.
Yeah.
Because you haven't been able to figure out if you can trust it in pressure situations yet.
Yeah. So yeah, all of a sudden your weakness becomes your weakness again.
Yeah, after you just spent 3 rounds with it being unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean.
tough.
If it was even like if he had thinned one or chunked a iron or something like that, I think he gets over it like that. But since it was the chipping, it's like, well, crap. Well, what do I do? I've lost it. You know what I mean? Like I had it and I've lost it. It was almost the worst possible thing that he could have happened, or the one part of his game that you would just be like, just don't do that. You know, just don't do that, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. No, 100%, 100% agree. And then Rob, man.
And then I mean that guy, he literally bogeyed number 1.
Yeah, and then he said it was a good thing because it refocused him.
And then he shot 32 on the front, 31 on the back.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Great up and down on 18.
Yeah.
To make birdie.
Yep.
Tough chip, tough shot.
Yeah, and then put that putt in.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, listen, this guy, Rhams, was literally the best player in the world a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like really before Scheffler kind of started his run. Rhams was on that run up and through the Ryder Cup. He was playing that well.
Yeah, and then was exhausted.
Yeah, and then was very tired from playing.
And had another kid. So, you got to take your family time.
Yeah, right. So it's just like, it's not like we didn't know he was still good. Like, I think everyone still thinks he's really good. But he hadn't been playing at that level, like best player in the world level, for a little while. And this, again, to come out and shoot freaking 63.
Yeah. And now he's pissed because he can't move up in the world rankings.
Right.
He's still stuck behind Patrick Cantlay.
Those Spaniards always need something to be mad about. So I think he just finds whatever he needs.
Always something.
Yeah, always something. But again, I think when you talk about Morikawa, he came out, like, he answered questions afterwards. He didn't pout. I think he handled it, again, pretty good for a 25-year-old.
Yeah, well, he was honest. He was like, "This sucks."
Yeah,
like it sucks.
Which again is like, we talk about this all the time. It's like these guys nowadays will skip interviews or do all this stuff, and it's one of the things everyone always admires about Tiger is he never kind of said no, regardless of what happened. He would always sit down, do his press conferences, and answer the questions. Yeah. He wouldn't answer them like greatly all the time.
Yeah, he would answer them in his Tiger.
Yeah, he had his Tigerisms. Yeah, he had his Tigerisms for sure. But he never said no. He never didn't show up.
Right.
So I think it was good of Morikawa to go and face the questions and be honest and just be like, look, like, yeah, it sucks. Like, I'm going to be thinking about it for a while. But, we move on.
Yeah, golf's a crazy game. Like nobody, and that's what makes it such a fantastic sport, because nobody is exempt from that saying, well, that's just golf. Like nobody's exempt from that.
Yeah. There's just different levels of it.
There's just different levels,
yeah.
And Morikawa is a perfect example of that. It's just like, that's just golf. You got a guy ahead of you that just starts running through the golf course.
Yep.
And you lose something that you've been good at for the last 3 days.
Yep.
Like, it's just golf, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it happens.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back. Who knows, this is like the kickoff to the season.
Yeah.
Which is always neat. It's always nice to watch. We're sitting here on the East Coast, and well, aside from the 60-degree weather we've been having.
Yeah, right. It was pretty cold today here.
Yeah, watching these guys play, in Hawaii and getting the season started. But now it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a while before we get into some of the bigger tournaments now. So
yeah,
you get excited to see these guys, and then it's like, oh man, when are we going to see them again?
Yeah, right. So let's run through the rest of the top 10 here.
Okay.
And just stop me whenever you want to talk about something. Tom Hoagie finishes tied for third. This guy,
don't need to talk about
I
Tom
know,
Hoagie.
but just 33 years old, coming out of nowhere.
He's in his prime.
Yeah, that's right. Max Homa finishing tied for third.
Oh, that's your boy. You probably want to stop and talk about Max for a little bit, don't you?
I don't know if there's anything to really talk about. I mean, it's.
All right.
I think it's good for him that he proved that he can kind of score with these guys. I think if there was one thing about Homa, it was like, obviously he's talented, and he's shown he can step up in big tournaments. But it's like, is he really that talented to when it's something like this? Like, does he just have the raw ability to score? Yeah. So I think it's pretty good. 23 under. Like, I think he kind of showed that, yeah, I can. Tom Kim tied for fifth. Good for Tom. JJ Spawn, like, God, nobody wants to talk about him. Finau. Matty Fitz, my boy.
There he is.
Matty Fitz up there with the big boys.
Wearing some colorful shirts.
He was
this week. He was, and oh my gosh, first of all, leaving the flag stick in for putts drives me absolutely freaking crazy.
I know it does.
But the one day there was, he's got a 20-mile-an-hour headwind blowing the flag stick back towards him.
Yeah.
And even the announcers were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, the ball's not going to fit. Yeah.
The ball's not going to go in there. The flag stick fed over the hole.
Right.
Drives me nuts.
I know it does. Scotty Scheffler in that tie for seventh with Finau and Fitzpatrick, KH Lee. Luke List and Willie, our boy Willie, back from his back injury. Going 20 under, tied for 11th.
What, two discs?
Yeah.
Discs? Is that
what
that was?
Yeah. Good for him. Glad he came back. Glad he's feeling better. Looking forward to it. Have him winning a major this year, if we remember.
Woo.
And then after that, Sung Jae, Jordan Spieth, Cam Young, Cantlay, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Spieth's one of those guys, too. Look good for a while. And then
we can talk about that right now, because literally I just saw a tweet from the PGA Tour. It says, Jordan Spieth entered round 2 in the co-lead. He's now on the cut line after 4 consecutive bogeys. And it shows a video of him not getting out of a bunker. He hits the ball, it hits twice on top, and spins back in the same bunker he just hit out of. Good Lord, that guy. It's just crazy.
The emotions that go through his rounds between.
It's just crazy.
Like, he hits every shot like it's a life or death shot.
Yeah.
And when he doesn't execute, I mean, it's just
unbelievable.
It's an emotional roller coaster. His caddy has to be exhausted.
I mean, at this point, I don't think Greller pays attention. Yeah, honestly, true. I think he's
he keeps his shades on because he's looking anywhere else.
Yeah, I think he's just like, all right, Jordan, great. Yep, go for it, buddy. Go nuts.
Yeah, I'll get him next time.
Yep, go nuts, buddy.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So funny. So, I mean, yeah, I think, again, it's a good, I've always appreciated this tournament as a good start to the season because it gets the best names out there.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's just them shooting birdies. Like, it's just them. It's not them grinding over a bunch of stuff. It's like.
Did Justin Thomas not play?
He did play.
He did. He did.
He finished.
He's just not that good.
Yep. He finished tied for 25th. He did not play very well.
Yeah, okay. Because he usually plays both weeks. He's won the Sony a couple times.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years ago, he won both. He won back to back. He won the Tournament of Champions and the.
Yeah. Well, that was
and the Sony.
That was, what's it called? What's his name? God. He's on Live now, and I can't remember his name. He just won the Open. Cam Smith, yeah. Didn't he do that last year, right?
Did he win both?
I think so. I know he won Sony for sure.
Well, then he won the tournament champions. So he was like 57 under.
Yeah,
tournament last year.
So I mean, again, I enjoyed that tournament. I think it's a good opener to the season. It gets usually the biggest names out on the golf course on TV for everyone to kind of start to realize that the PGA Tour season is back. And another good winner, again, I think it was leading to be a little bit boring, with just Morikawa walking away with it. And then it got pretty exciting. So not too bad to start the season. Not too bad. So the Sony Open is going on right now. God, the top 10 is a list of just nobodies.
Yeah.
Like JT Poston, I think, is the most famous one.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. My grandfather's played that course a couple times, and he's always like, wonders how they hold an event at that course, because it's just a resort course. Like, there's nothing, according to him, there's nothing really special about that course. I guess, the wind is kind of its defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shorter course, but these guys they go super low.
I mean, they're in round 2 and the leader's at -10.
-10. Okay, so we could get to that 20. Yeah, it's just I should maybe ask him to elaborate on that, but he said that a couple times. So it's like it's not really that great of a course.
Yeah, right. Funny.
Yeah.
So I think I want to go over the next couple tournaments. Just like you said, there's a little bit of a stretch where kind of who cares. And and then we get into some good ones. So let's talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. What's the schedule? I want to hear the schedule.
Next week after the Sony is the American Express.
Is Phil still the sponsor for that?
Up in the air. Nobody knows.
No. No.
Then the farm.
He's not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not. Then there's the Farmers at Torrey Pines.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Then
that'll get some players out.
Yeah. Then the AT&T Pro-Am, which is whatever.
Is that it? That's at Pebble Beach.
That's at Pebble Beach. Yep.
That's where the celebrities come out.
Yeah, right.
The celebrities that suck at golf get to go out and
we get to watch them.
Yeah.
After they paid $700,000 to get in and be able to play. Then we start a pretty good run. So Phoenix Open, February 9th. Again, Waste Management. That's always a good one. Then we have the Genesis at Riv. Again, another good one.
Tiger?
He'll be there. Let's hope he doesn't look the same, but he'll be there.
Gonna play? They gonna play?
No, I don't think so.
Man, come on.
I don't think so. I really don't.
All right.
Listen, nobody wants him to play more than I do, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Tough course to walk. Long golf course.
Right. Then the Honda at PGA National. Then a Puerto Rico Open. Who cares? Hey, and then we got...
Be nice.
Again, 4 pretty good ones in a row here. The Arnold Palmer. Then we got the Players Championship. Mm-hmm. Then the Valspar. And then the first WGC, the match play. So, really from now until the Masters, I'm going to count the tournaments that nobody cares about. 1, 2, 3. I think that truly nobody cares about. There's three tournaments. You're not going to get the best players at all of these, but for the most part, it's a very good run. This is a pretty good run from now until the Masters.
Oh, the Masters. What's the Players Championship? Is that $20 million now?
I will tell you.
Players Championship, $20 million?
$25 million.
25.
The winner gets $3.6 million.
Nice.
The Arnold Palmer is $20 million.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
It's all those elevated events.
Yeah. Good. The guy should play. Like, as much as that dude did for the game, like, everybody should be at the Arnold Palmer. A lot of guys these last couple years haven't played that or skipped it.
Yeah.
And I almost think it's almost disrespectful. Like that guy basically created branding for golfers.
I mean, he literally created the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and the Golf Channel, like
Yeah.
everybody should be at that.
Well, I think they will be now with the new rules about like they have
Yeah.
to attend all those elevated events.
Good. Well, I'm glad the PGA Tour did right by that. Like that's 100% one of those tournaments that everybody should be playing
Yeah.
in.
So again, some really great ones like the Phoenix Open. It's always just an entertaining one to watch. The Genesis at Riv, they get everyone. Everyone wants to play there. Again, another $20 million purse. So a great one.
Yeah.
The Hondas usually has been pretty popular in the past, but this one probably not so much.
It's a tough golf course.
Yeah, API is going to be great. Players is going to be great. And then the match play, usually something weird happens. And then you got the Masters like a couple weeks later.
Yeah. And the tournament's not the greatest, but you have the opportunity to see Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tune in for a round or so.
Yeah, you can. That's about all you can take of that.
Just to see the golf course.
Yeah, that's about all you can take of that.
Agreed. Yeah.
But look, I think it was a good start to the year with the Tournament of Champions. I think it went well. I was glad there was some drama at the end to make it exciting. Good to see golf back. Good to see some warm weather. I cannot wait for it to be nice enough around here so that I can get back out there. Luckily, my oldest son has been asking me every time we go past a certain driving range, Dad, can we go? Dad, can we go?
And you don't stop? You stop every
It's like
single
32
time.
degrees. He would be miserable. I don't want him to be miserable. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep his enthusiasm.
Give him the best experience out there.
I'm trying to keep it very positive.
So it sticks.
His hands would be cold. Like it was just
sting.
not the
Hit
time.
The ball wrong,
yeah, right.
Sting the hands.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm done. Never play it again.
I'm not doing this anymore. Like, nope, that's not happening. It's not happening.
All right, fair enough.
But we're getting there. A couple more months. We'll be right back there. But some good stuff coming up. We'll be back, to recap most of them. Again, we're not going to like come back and recap some terrible tournament, but we'll be on for good ones. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Good to get back in the swing of thing. Good to see golf back on TV.
It's always
any other thoughts here? Yeah, before we wrap up.
It's always a general rule for me. When other golf shows or podcasts that I listen to are not talking about golf.
Yeah.
It's hey, okay. We got to dig deep here and find something to talk about, or you know what? Maybe we catch up next time.
Yeah. Listen, there's going to be a good flurry, like we just talked about, of several weeks in a row where there's going to be great stuff to talk about. Yeah. Again, if anything comes back with the live stuff. Oh, we did want to talk about the Netflix show. They came out with an official trailer for it this week. Just go on Twitter or YouTube, you'll find it. Big, like not a surprise, but surprise to the public. They got Rory McIlroy to sit down for it and talk about stuff.
He likes to talk.
Yeah, obviously a bunch of live guys are in it, so they're gonna get into that. I've heard a bunch of stuff that like they get into it, into all the live versus PGA stuff and what the guys think and everything. So I'm excited for it. I think it'll be, again, I don't think it'll be as intriguing as, I don't know if you watched the Drive to Survive, the Formula One show.
I did not. I heard about it.
I did. Like, it was good. Like,
not.
It's good because there's teams of people, like, with everything riding on it. Like, that's what makes it cool. Like, this is just like a bunch of guys. Like, they're all playing for themselves. So it really doesn't matter that much. It'll be interesting how they kind of try to make people care about it. You know what I mean? Because at least in the Formula One, you could be like, oh, I like this team because like their mechanics are cool, or like, somebody, does something that you just kind of stick to. This is just like, all right, it's one guy who's going out there to play for himself. A lot of money. Yeah. The live stuff will be interesting to see how much they get into that and like what kind of access they maybe had to those guys. and how much they talk about.
Yeah,
So that'll be really
can
interesting.
what they can and can't say.
Right. So that'll be really interesting also. But the trailer looked good. I think it'll be cool to hear. Again, we haven't heard from like Brooks Koepka or DJ, it seems like, in forever.
You know, I don't know how much I need to hear Brooks Koepka talk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, but like maybe he'll actually say something useful or
Probably
relevant.
not.
There's a good chance
Yeah.
not. Yeah, there's a good
Yeah.
chance not.
I mean, Dustin Johnson is fine because it's whatever. He keeps it light, but
Yeah.
that Koepka, man, he's annoying.
Yeah.
He's annoying.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But it'll be interesting to see how they what kind of drama they play up or how they sort of make it relevant. So it'll be interesting. I think I'm excited to at least sit down and watch it and see what they do with it.
Yeah. And you know what clip never gets old that I just saw again as I'm browsing social media when Bryson DeChambeau gets hit in the face with
Yeah, the rope.
with a rope, and
Yeah.
it's like the world is coming to an end.
And he acts like JFK getting shot in the head.
Yeah. They just talk about Liv and people we hate.
Yeah. I'm happy we don't have to hear. I don't hear from him a lot.
That came flooding back, and I was like, you know what? I just saw that again.
Yeah.
And that will never get old.
No, it's fantastic.
And what an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, he declined the Netflix special because he didn't want to take the light away from the others. That was literally his reason. I'm dead serious.
Like I said, what an idiot.
He literally said, I want to give other people the chance to share their story. I think I'd take too much of the attention. Good Lord.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
It's just again, we've said this a million times, but it's just the premium example of a giant nerd getting money and attention.
Yeah.
And he has no social skills whatsoever.
Yeah. Thinks he's way more important than he is.
Yeah. Because he got kind of cool and he can't handle it. Can't handle it. Doesn't know what to do with himself.
Sure can.
God, what a jackass.
Ooh, boy.
All right. Well, hey.
We could do this for a while.
We could. We'll stop ourselves before we get too far into it. But good to be back, man. Good to talk to some golf with you. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All of our podcast episodes go up on our YouTube channel. Just search Birdies and Beer Podcasts or search the Two Way Miss Podcast on YouTube. You will find us. If you can, hit that big red subscribe button. It is free. You'll not only get this podcast, but you get the Fixated podcast all about Philly sports. So if you're a big fan of Philly sports, you can check out both of them on the same YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. B&B Podcast is the Instagram for the network. Mr. Good Buddy Banks over there is at Fairbanks C23 on Instagram. Give him a follow. Very active the past couple of weeks, buddy.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what came over me.
I don't know either, but just like a flurry of stuff. I love it.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what to say, but yeah, just
good stuff.
Nuts.
Keep it up. Keep it up. So go drop him a follow while he's hot. He's got the hot hand.
Yeah, I'm on fire.
That's right. Go give him a follow. Follow us on Twitter at the Two Way Miss on Twitter. You can follow me at Big Regz with a Z on Twitter. Just thank you again for everyone who listens, watches. We truly appreciate you. If you know anyone else who enjoys golf and is in the market for a golf podcast, please let them know. Rate us wherever you get your podcast. We are on all of them. Google, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find us. Leave us a rating, subscribe on those podcast platforms as well. So thanks everyone for listening, and we will catch you on the next one. Have a good night, everyone.
Swing hard, everyone.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shake. He decided to re-tee. That's a shake.